For today's lovely eats, we have some honey butter biscuits on the menu. I am Shirley, a Southern Belle from North Carolina, so you know biscuits are near and dear to my heart. I love them very buttery, very yummy, so let's go ahead and get into this recipe. It's only 4 ingredients: honey, self-rising flour, sweet cream butter, as well as half and half. Let's go ahead and preheat our ovens to 425 degrees, and let's go ahead and grab our flour. We need about a cup of flour, so let's go ahead and pour that into a measuring cup. I got a little carried away, so I had a little more than a cup in there, so I had to go ahead and scoop off the excess on the board and in the bowl so that way I can utilize it later. No need to waste the flour if I can just use it later, of course. So that's what we did. Next, let's go ahead and grab our butter. We're going to use 4 tablespoons for this recipe. This is a small batch of biscuits. Nothing too crazy, nothing too major. Chop up this butter like so. As you can see, they're in small bits. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our pastry cutter like so. And cut, chop, honey. We're going to go ahead and chop it up. Is there really even the word to say chop? I'm not sure. But we're going to go ahead and mash up our flour and butter together. You want your butter to be about as small as a grain of rice. So you're going to need to take your time, really put your bag, put your shoulders in it, because you want to be dealing with cold butter. You want your ingredients to be cold, honestly. This is a very important step. I probably should have said this earlier on, but here we are. Additionally, throughout your process, make sure you are wiping off the butter from your pastry cutter, because I know sometimes it can get stuck in there. So we want to make sure that we get that off, that way we have all the butter in our biscuits. How would they be buttery biscuits if there's not no butter on there? So we got to make sure we're getting all of the butter that we want and need. But please be sure to work with cold ingredients. Our next step is going to consist of adding our liquid. I used half and half, but you can use buttermilk. That's going to make them even more fluffier. I use what I had in the fridge, honey. We're going to just grab some dairy. So half and half, buttermilk, really whatever you have will work for this. Or fun fact, if you add a little bit of lemon to some milk, that'll make you some buttermilk. So let's go ahead and combine our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. This is how we are going to begin to form our dough. Our biscuit dough, honey. I just feel like biscuits are an essential, like a breakfast essential, really a dinner essential. It's just an all-around essential. You can add sausage biscuit. You can have sausage biscuit with jelly. Sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Honey, where I'm from, we got Bojangles. Everything with a biscuit, baby. I love it. I done moved to Atlanta, and it's not enough Bojangles for me, so I had to start making my own biscuits, so here we are. But anywho, I don't really like my dough too sticky, too wet, so I added a little bit more flour, as you can see. And this is really an optional step, because you want to make sure you have the dough the right consistency that you want it to be. I don't like mine too sticky, but some people do, and when I use buttermilk, it is a bit sticky, I'll say. So I went ahead and pulled out my little charcuterie board, and I floured it up, and this is going to help you truly form the dough, get the biscuits ready, the whole 9. So at this point, I am playing a little bit. A for Alexis, L for lovely child, because we are very, very lovely. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and get it biscuits. So go ahead and take your dough, put it on the board, and we're going to go ahead, knead it, roll it out, and do what needs to be done. This is the point in the biscuit making process where I truly pull out the love in this recipe. In everything I make and everything that I do it with love. And in all things, God is love. So if that don't tell you nothing, honey, these biscuits are going to be bomb. They're going to be good. So as you can see, I'm folding the dough over like so. And this is what's going to create those layers. If you like nice, flaky, buttery, good biscuits, this is just what you got to do. Once you've gotten to know your dough, it's time to create. the biscuits of the hour. Now, I don't have a biscuit cutter, so of course I used a wine glass. When you're balling on a budget, there is no need to go out and buy a whole bunch of extra things when you clearly already have things around the house. Hence why I use half and half and not buttermilk, because I drink coffee and it's way more available in my house than regular buttermilk. But anywho, back to the biscuits. Look at this biscuit dough right here. I'm so excited. It's going to be so perfect, honestly. Who needs a biscuit cutter when you have wine glasses? As you are forming your biscuits, you're going to continuously utilize the dough that you have and work it. You don't want to overwork it, but you do want to work it ever so slightly so that way you can form those biscuits, child. So each time I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. I'm going to press down with my wine glass to get that dough and move on with my life. Now the last biscuit that you make is not going to be as sexy as the others, simply because it is free forming. So as you can see here, I am forming that last biscuit with my hands, flouring it up so that way it can not be too warm and sticky due to me working it, but I had to kind of make it look as beautiful as it could, make it lovely, but it is what it is. Once you get to this point, you should be so entirely proud of yourself. Go ahead and grab your pan. I like to use my cast iron skillet. Now, if you don't know nothing about no cast iron, that's fine. We can talk about that a little bit later. Use what you have. You can use a regular pan, put some butter in it, and melt it. Add your biscuits and bake on 425 degrees for 13 to 15 minutes. And when you put them in your pan, make sure they are close together and touching. Go ahead and grab your honey, melt some butter, and we're going to go ahead and combine the two to conclude this honey butter recipe. Now, we can't have no honey butter biscuits without the honey butter. So this is the honey butter portion of it, honey. I'm not even gonna lie, I measured this off of typically I do use about 2 tablespoons of butter. This time I really only use about 1. Once your biscuits are finished baking in the oven, go ahead and pull them out. Drizzle that honey butter on top of them light skin biscuits, honey bun. And just, I am in love with biscuits. I don't even know what to say. If you like your biscuits a little darker than this, put something on top of them like a little bit of mayo or sour cream, whatever you want. But I don't like my biscuits how I like my chocolate man. When I tell you these biscuits were so good, especially when they came fresh out the oven, I ended up making sausages to have sausage biscuits for the morning. This was the best breakfast meal prep I think I have honestly ever done. I hope you try this recipe out. It never fails me. Let me know in the comments what you like to eat for breakfast. I obviously love biscuits. I'd love for us to continue to get to know each other. So if you're down with that, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and stay lovely. Thanks for watching.